the most highly anticipated launches of the year. It certainly is for Toyota. It is the Land Cruiser Prado. And I'm in one of my favorite countries in the world, which is Mozambique, to put this to the test.
Prado is a vehicle that's captured the imagination of our customers for years. It's kind of been the soul of the Land Cruiser range. The packaging, I think, is what makes it so appealing. It's a vehicle that has incredible versatility, great off-road capabilities, but also a luxury vehicle. And it's something that South African customers have taken as their own.
Our accommodation in Mozambique was the unbelievable White Lotus, Pearl, which is nestled in a sheltered bay on Mozambique's lagoon coast, poised amongst the dunes on timber stilts. It is situated on the southern coast, 25 kilometers north of Cozy Bay border. Should I mention that we each had our own private villa with its own butler? But back to the Prado. It is quite clear that just by looking at this new vehicle, it is built for off-roading. It is a striking squared-off design. The parts have been designed to take on harsh conditions as well as to be easy to replace if they are damaged. There is a sense of timelessness to it. The simplicity of the design means that it might age well. The classic LC Prado silhouette references the definitive lines of the early Land Cruiser models. The 40, 60 and 70 series Land Cruisers are clear influences. With a strong horizontal axis, a long bonnet, upright windscreen, a short front overhang and distinctive trapezoidal wheel arches. The mirrors are attached to the doors and the beltline has been stepped down, a reference to the classic Toyota BJ70, by about 30 millimeters compared to the current model. There is of course a range of accessories on offer such as roof rails, side steps and roof tents. It's a huge step forward for Toyota in this cabin. My goodness, the outgoing Prado just felt ancient inside. It was really due this update. It needed to hurtle into the modern world. Especially when you consider its rivals, just needed to up its game, and it has. The trim levels include TX and VXR, as well as a First Edition and First Edition Bitone. Standard features across the range include clearance and parking sonar, leather seats with lumbar support, dual-zone auto air conditioner, 7 USB ports. There is an HD touchscreen infotainment system, 9 or 12.3 inch depending on trim level, as well as a digital instrument cluster, which is 9 or 12.3 inches as well. The physical shape of the switches and their operating methods have been unified, simple toggle or push controls. Interestingly, professional rally drivers were consulted on the design of the combination of dial selector and push switch used for vehicle system functions such as the multi-terrain select. And if you're doing some hardcore off-roading, never fear, because there are knee pads and padded door shoulders. Plus, the door panel has a scooped profile, so the driver has space for free elbow movement. It has a new steering wheel design with wide spoke openings to help prevent fingers being injured in the event of steering kickback. There are 7 seats available on the Prado. The seats have been redesigned and are also available with integrated heating and ventilation. The second row seats are offered in a bench arrangement that divides 60-40, and on the 7-seat model, the third row comprises 2 seats that can be folded flat manually or with power control. As with most 7-seaters, you tend to lose out on boot space. There is space in the Prado though for 2 55cm suitcases, but pop those seats down and it opens you up to valuable space. In fact, you can put 3 86cm cases plus 1 81cm and 1 69cm one. You can tell Toyota worked that out for us. Gone is the naturally aspirated 4-litre V6, which I know will disappoint many people, but it's not exactly a shock in this day and age, is it? I don't think so. So this Prado is exclusively powered by a 2.8-litre turbo diesel. You get 150 kilowatts of power and 500 newton meters of torque, mated to an 8-speed direct shift automatic transmission. I don't think it feels that underpowered. If you are feeling a little bit disappointed, I suspect that there will be a few versions of this. You might want, I don't know, the GR Sport version of the 2.8-litre. It has got a ladder frame chassis, so maybe not as comfortable or refined in feeling, if you will, as the Defender. But I only think you're going to notice that if you drive them back to back. Otherwise, I think you're going to be just as comfortable. This engine is known for its performance and efficiency, and it's got a claimed fuel consumption of 7.9 litres per 100 Ks, and we're actually sitting on 7.2, we even saw 7.1 litres per 100 Ks. The visibility is actually really good in the car. These mirrors are enormous. I can see the whole sunset in the back here, which is lovely. The dashboard is quite low, and the bonnet has a sort of concave design to it, so you really get to see a lot more of the road in front of you. The steering is light thanks to the electric power steering, but typical of Toyota and certainly in 4x4, and it does make quite a difference, I imagine, when we're off-roading.
Yeah, there's a significant improvement in the Prado's off-road abilities, and one would have almost not thought that it was possible. And I'm so pleased that they've retained that, that essence of what the Prado is. Obviously, a lot of technology features, the multi-terrain sensor, the ability to control the traction in different types of conditions, and they've been able to find a really good balance between the wheelbase of the vehicle. The drivetrain, obviously the gearbox has made a significant difference in terms of the ratios, but this car is very, very impressive off-road. It's a significant step above what the previous generation Prado was able to achieve.
Pricing kicks off at like 1.3 million for the TX model and then goes up to around 1.47 million for the limited edition models. Now, do you need this kind of 4x4 capability in your life? If you do, I don't think you can go wrong. This is one of my favorite off-roading cars that I've driven this year. You could get away with just having, I don't know, like a fancy SUV that's all-wheel drive if you're not going to do any hardcore off-roading. But honestly, I think Toyota has really achieved what it set out to do with this going back to its roots, but still remaining premium. And it just doesn't feel precious, and that's one of the things I love most about it.
Welcome back to Ignition GT. It's safe to say that the 5th generation Prado has some big shoes to fill, which is why Toyota have pulled out all the stops in creating the new off-roader. Does it live up to its expectations though? And you guys are the perfect people to ask because you went international to drive this car.
The green
so
mamba
you can tell me
stamp.
all about it. Yes. How was Mozambique in the Prado? Tell me about it.
Oh, it was great. Look, I always love traveling, but I like it when a brand takes you to experience the car fully. So this car, it's honestly like, when you do analogies, stars and stripes,
Yes.
McDonald's and fries. Toyota and off-roading, it just goes so well. And this car far exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
It was built exactly to what it was meant to do. Sure. It was honestly just incredible.
And let's talk a little bit about, the derivatives. What is on offer from the Prado?
We have the TX, the VXR, and the one I love, but most people can't have, the first edition.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a few coming.
Yeah, I think they're already finished. They said around 300, but...
So sold out?
Yeah,
So all allocations, just over 680. Before we even went to the launch, all sold out.
Excuse me?
Yes, order books are full and there's now a waiting list. So it just shows you that this car it's doing exactly what it was built for.
Exactly. And what do you think makes this car so popular, especially in South Africa? I mean, geez, the response has always been crazy for the Prado.
Look, South Africans like stability, like most of us. And when we spoke to the president of Toyota, Andrew Kirby, I even found something that was very fascinating. The car had actually been in production, the previous one, for 13 years, including its facelift. So, and current versions are still holding their value incredibly. Yes. So this car lasted long, it stood the test of time, and it never broke. So when a new one is introduced, it's gonna succeed that so much because it's a car that is gonna be improved over the last one. And if the last one had minimal issues with customers, then they know this is gonna be 10 out of 10.
Sure. And just tell me about, I mean, you guys took it on-road, off-road. Let's talk about, how it performed on all those, road surfaces for you.
Well, on the topic of Mozambique, while we're there, we went to Ponta de Oro, hope I'm saying it right. And while we're there, we saw a lot of Land Cruiser Prados, the previous gen models. So it was actually the perfect location for that car, because you buy this looking for adventure. You want to go drive on the sand, go climb some rocks, drive through mud and all that stuff. And it does that very well. But on this one, they've added a bit of a lifestyle element to it, You have heated and ventilated seats in the front, in the back. It's a 7-seater, it's practical. I mean, it even has a fridge, And yeah, I think people are going to love this,
And let's talk about what's under the hood and also, the derivatives of that.
Okay, same engine, 2.8-liter turbo diesel, the same one you find in the Fortuner and Hilux, but on this one, it's paired with an 8-speed automatic. So it's not the quickest thing out there, but for its applications, I think it's enough,
Yeah. And finally, are you guys just, happy with the way it is pricing-wise? I'll ask both of you, actually.
Pricing-wise, I'm very happy, actually. And I think customers have proven they're happy as well. I mean, they're buying them like they're for free, You just walk outside, you see a Prado. So yeah, I think they nailed the pricing. I've been looking at other Prado-ish competitors coming in close to that price, and I'm thinking, So yeah, Toyota nailed it.
They did. They definitely did. Look, I mean, it's compared to the Defender. The Defender's almost double, if not slightly less. But I mean, like, you're getting so much more car. And also comparing the two cars, one is very lifestyle and city. You hardly see a lot of them going off-road, even though they can. But this is just get in, start the key. It's got the terrain response. We took it to the sand, the beach. We went through mud. We went through little bits of water. It handled it just with the flick of a switch. And it's Toyota reliability, but also it's not busting the bank. So it becomes a utilitarian thing. It's meant to do its purpose, and you can just switch it off. You don't have to worry about, I scratched it, it did this.
Exactly.
It's just a workhorse, and it works, and that's why it's a nice car.